Get ready, everybody. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is worth an estimated $60.6 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 60. Followed by the number 16. Tonight we're going to meet NJB, who won $50,000 playing Powerball. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 21, 27, rounding it out tonight with 61. Your Powerball number tonight is 6, and your Power Play multiplier is 2. Oh, let's take a look at those numbers one last time. From all of us here at the Florida Powerball Studios, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here Wednesday night. Good night, everyone.
On your side, this is News 12 and 11.
Well, 4th of July is here. It's almost over, but even though things looked a bit different than years past, people still found ways to celebrate the country they love. And while many celebrations around the CSRA were canceled this year, Columbia County officials decided the show must go on. Our Celeste Springer was at the 20th annual Boom in the Park celebration at the fairgrounds, and Celeste, of course, this was a bit different than years past.
Yeah, the event was tailgate style with people enjoying the show from outside their cars. They limited the number of cars that were allowed into the space, and they also limited the number of vendors that were allowed to serve.
Experts continue to tell us to social distance, but holidays like July 4th can make that advice harder to follow.
Choose what you want to do. You gonna either do what's right or get the virus.
Events like Columbia County's Boom in the Park have taken extra precautions to encourage social distancing by changing their normal celebration into a tailgate party. Hannah Day and her family were set up in the back of their car and said they felt safe at the event.
They're at least 6 feet away from any other group of people.
One of the things that Boom in the Park did to encourage social distancing is they actually broadcasted the live music on the radio. So if people didn't want to go and get close to one of each other, they could enjoy the music straight from their car. All they had to do is tune into the right station and relax.
I like it because if I get too hot, I can sit in my car and turn the air conditioner on and watch the fireworks and listen to the radio.
Performer Aaron Hinn says that this is the first time he's ever performed at a show where most of the crowd didn't even leave the parking lot.
I think it's awesome. I think people need to get away sometime, and whatever the safest way for them to be able to do that is at this moment, I think it's a good thing.
As with any large event, truly enforcing social distancing is tough. For the people who ventured to the stage, policed themselves, and enjoyed the music more than 6 feet apart.
People at the event were allowed to walk around the parking lot freely, and they also got to choose whether or not they wore a mask. But no one was allowed to enter the fairgrounds on foot. You had to come by car.
All right, thank you so much, Celeste. And we're taking a look now at downtown Augusta. It was a great day for weather for 4th of July, Anthony.
Yeah, it was pretty nice out there. We did have a couple of showers that moved through just before some of those fireworks had started. I don't know if you guys can hear. I got Storm here with me. I wanted to bring him here so we didn't have to hear all those fireworks by himself, but it was a very warm afternoon. We saw high temperature here at Bushfield, 96 degrees, and we saw the same temperature yesterday. Right now the temperature is a little bit cooler, right around 76 degrees here in Augusta, 81 in Evans, so still a fairly mild evening out there. And we are seeing those drier conditions now that those showers have ended. Around more on your forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Anthony. As COVID cases surged across the country.
80s by Tuesday, Sydney.
I just gotta say, Anthony, you handled that like a pro. Storm, Anthony was petting Storm that whole newscast, just trying to calm. Oh my gosh, that was adorable. Anyway, we've been showing you what beaches look like along the East Coast, but over on the West Coast, beaches were hit with huge crowds too. John Ramos showed us how people had to adapt today.
As one of the few beaches in California that was easy to get to today, Stinson Beach in Marin County was expected to be jam-packed today. There are a lot of people, but it may not be the problem it looks like at first glance. Stinson Beach is actually federal property, so the parking lot stayed open. And as you can see, gigantic crowds of people showed up. At least that's how Jessica Tracy first saw it.
Yeah, we were really happy we were sitting over here because when we looked down the beach, we saw how incredibly crowded it was. We were sort of giving ourselves a pat on the back for being more safe, but once you go down there, you see that it's also equally spread out, so.
It's a trick of the eye, but the truth is revealed when you look at the beach from above. Sure, there were a lot of people by pandemic standards, but for the most part, everyone was trying pretty hard and doing a pretty good job keeping their distance.
You're still able to socially distance and maintain that 6-foot radius around you, even more so. I mean, the closest people next to us are probably like 20 feet away.
From ground level, the parking lot looks jammed, but from above, you see that it is really half empty. And the same was true at nearby Muir Beach. At noon, the parking lot was full of cars, but the beach itself wasn't overcrowded at all.
Well, we decided when we came, if it was not going to be safe, we wouldn't stay. And we've been pleasantly surprised by how well everybody is behaving, social distancing, wearing masks. So, very pleasant and a beautiful day.
Fear about viruses or beaches can lead people to hasty conclusions. It's easy to assume the worst when you don't know what's coming.
Now it's like afternoon and it hasn't gotten crazy. It's just been this ridiculously beautiful day at the beach.
And just as Jessica Tracy discovered, if you take a wider view, you may discover that most people are actually willing to do the right thing.
And of course, it's not Independence Day, but in the UK, they still got some